I could already feel that something was about to go terribly wrong the moment the scene shifted to that quiet, because nothing in this story ever stays calm for long, and when emotions are layered with pride, history, and hidden resentment, the smallest interruption can turn into a full storm. At first, everything seemed almost fragile in a hopeful way, like a moment that could either mend broken perceptions or completely shatter them. Isaiah had clearly put effort into arranging this meeting between Eva and Darlene, and I could sense that he believed, maybe a little too optimistically, that if the two women simply sat down and talked, something good might come out of it. That alone already told me how much he wanted this relationship to work, because he was willing to risk discomfort, even rejection, just to give Eva a chance in his mother's eyes. Darlene, on the other hand, was never going to be easy to convince. From the very beginning, her hesitation spoke volumes. She already knew who Eva was, not just as a person, but as Leslie's daughter, and that connection alone carried a weight that Eva could not escape. I could almost hear the internal conflict in Darlene's mind, because agreeing to meet Eva was not acceptance. It was obligation mixed with reluctant curiosity. It was Isaiah's persistence that pushed her to show up, not her own willingness. And then, just as the meeting barely had time to breathe, everything started to unravel. Leslie's entrance felt less like coincidence and more like a disruption that the story had been building toward all along. The timing was too perfect in the worst possible way. The moment she appeared, I knew that whatever chance this meeting had was gone. Leslie does not enter quietly. She does not observe. She does not wait to be invited. She takes space. She claims attention, and she does it with a confidence that often borders on recklessness. I could picture it so clearly, Leslie pulling out a chair without hesitation, inserting herself into a moment that was never meant for her. It was not just rude, it was strategic in a chaotic way. She knew exactly what she was doing, even if she pretended otherwise. And Eva, the moment she saw her mother, already sensed the danger. That instinctive discomfort, that subtle shift in her behavior, it told me that Eva understands Leslie more than anyone else does. Eva tried to fix it, and I think that was the most telling part. She did not confront Leslie aggressively. She did not create a scene. She tried to gently push her away, to redirect her, to protect what little stability remained in that moment. But that was never going to work. Leslie does not respond to subtlety, and she certainly does not step back when she believes she has something to gain. What made it worse was Leslie's intention. She was not there by accident. She came with a purpose, and that purpose was the wedding. The way she rushed into the conversation, eager to talk about Eva and Isaiah's future, it was almost as if she believed she had the authority to decide it. And that, more than anything, was what pushed Darlene over the edge. Darlene's reaction was immediate and honestly, completely predictable. This is a woman who values control, reputation, and respect, and Leslie represents the exact opposite of all three. The discomfort on Darlene's face, the tension in her posture, it all pointed to one thing. She did not want Leslie there, not even for a second. And it goes deeper than just personality. Darlene knows Leslie's history. She knows the chaos she has caused, especially with families like the Dupree. That history is not something that can be ignored, and in Darlene's mind, it directly reflects on Eva, whether that is fair or not. This is where the real conflict lies, not just between individuals, but between perception and reality. When Leslie started speaking about the wedding as if it were already decided, I could almost feel the shift in the room. That was the breaking point. For Darlene, this was not just inappropriate, it was offensive. The idea that Leslie would take it upon herself to make decisions about her son's future without respect, without boundaries, it was too much. And then Darlene did what I expected her to do. She walked away. That moment, simple as it may seem, carried so much weight. Walking away was not just an escape from the conversation, it was a statement. It was her refusal to engage in what she saw as madness, and Isaiah, caught in the middle, immediately followed her, because he understood that if he did not act quickly, the situation would spiral beyond repair. Eva stayed behind with Leslie, and that separation created two parallel tensions unfolding at the same time. On one side, Isaiah trying to salvage his connection with his mother, and on the other, Eva dealing with the very person who was actively making everything worse. What really struck me was the moment Eva overheard Darlene. Hearing Darlene call Leslie a devil, hearing her demand that Isaiah end the relationship, that kind of raw rejection is not something you can easily ignore. And Eva's reaction, or rather her lack of reaction, said everything. She did not argue, she did not defend herself, she absorbed it. That silence, that disappointment, it tells me that Eva's already questioning everything. She may love Isaiah, but she is not blind to reality. She understands the barriers, and more importantly, she understands how deeply rooted Darlene's disapproval is. But Leslie, of course, could not let it go. If anything, that moment only fueled her. She chased after Darlene, determined to confront her, to demand answers, to assert herself, and this is where everything exploded. The argument between Leslie and Darlene was inevitable, but it was also revealing. Leslie accused Darlene of looking down on Eva, of placing Isaiah on a pedestal while dismissing her daughter. In her own way, Leslie was defending Eva, but her approach was aggressive, confrontational, and ultimately destructive. Darlene did not hold back either. She called out Leslie's dependence on the Dupree family, accusing her of flaunting wealth that was never truly hers. That accusation cut deep because it attacked not just Leslie's behavior, but her identity, her sense of pride. And then came the final escalation. Leslie's insults crossed the line, and Darlene responded with a slap. That single action changed everything. It was not just physical, it was symbolic. It marked the point of no return. There is no coming back from that kind of confrontation, not easily, not quickly. As I think about it, I cannot help but feel that this moment sealed the fate of Eva and Isaiah's relationship, at least in its current form. Darlene will never accept Leslie, and as long as Leslie is part of Eva's life, that rejection will extend to her as well. And Eva knows it now. She heard everything, she saw everything, and even if she does not say it out loud, she understands what this means. I would not be surprised if she chooses to walk away, not because she does not care about Isaiah, but because she sees the impossibility of their situation. But then there is Isaiah. He is not someone who gives up easily. If anything, this conflict will push him further. I can already imagine him trying to reason with Darlene, trying to bridge the gap, trying to prove that Eva is worth it. He believes in this relationship, and that belief will drive him to fight for it, even if the odds are against him. What makes this even more intriguing is Leslie's next move. She is not the type to accept humiliation quietly. That slap, that public rejection, it will not sit well with her. I can already sense that she is planning something that will escalate the situation even further, whether it is revenge, manipulation, or a calculated attempt to secure Eva's future. Leslie will act. The question is not if, but how far she is willing to go. And that is what keeps me hooked on this storyline, because it is no longer just about a relationship. It is about power, pride, and the lengths people will go to protect what they believe is theirs. As I look ahead, I see a path filled with more emotional confrontations and decisions that will leave lasting consequences. Eva stands at the center of it all, torn between love and reality, between loyalty and self-respect. Isaiah is fighting to hold on. Darlene is determined to push back. And Leslie, unpredictable as ever, is ready to strike. This is far from over, and if anything, it feels like we have only just reached the point where everything truly begins.